This segment brought to you by Bravo Company USA. Hey gang, Larry Vickers here, Vickers Tactical Channel, and this is the Alien pistol from Lago Arms. I did one of the first videos, not only in SHOT Show, but also once I actually got to fire them in my hand here on my YouTube channel. And even though I had a little bit of trigger time behind it, I didn't have a lot. Now I've used it in my classes, I've shot it quite a bit, and I'm able to give you an after action report of the stuff that I've learned using the Alien. All right, first off, no other magazine interchanges with it. It's a CZ style magazine, but the angle is such that you really can't use any other mag, and I've not been able to find any other base plate to use as kind of an extension. This is a 17 round mag, including the base plate. All right, so I haven't found anything that will interchange and allow it to extend. Now, the other thing is, mag well comes on the gun, has a set screw. You need to take that set screw and put Loctite on it or crimp it and really tighten it down, because it will absolutely come loose. Even if when you think it's tight, it's going to come loose on you, and it can cause malfunctions. I had that happen. So if you can take the mag well off, and you still have a really good magazine well, but if you want the extended mag well, you need to put it on and make sure that set screw's tight with Loctite, or crimp the threads a little bit so there's some bite to it when you cinch it down. Okay, gun gets dirty. All right, straight up, gun gets dirty. It's a HK P7 style operating mechanism with the gas piston on top. So just like a P7, it gets dirty. Remember, with guns like a 1911 or a Glock or whatever the case may be, you got debris, carbon fouling essentially goes out the barrel, and some in the ejection port and gets down in the gun. With this, you have it some going out the barrel, some back in the ejection port, but a big chunk of it is going into the gas system and is used to cycle the action. So the gun straight out gets dirty. All right, incredibly accurate, stupid accurate gun. It's like a laser beam. Here's the thing though, not very forgiving. There's some guns out there from what I've seen, like the HK VP9, which is a pretty forgiving gun. Very, very accurate pistol, but it's pretty forgiving. You'll fire a shot and you go, I might have pulled that one a little bit to the left, and you go, well, not as bad as I thought. Not with this, all right? If you pulled it to the left, trust me, you pulled it to the left every bit as much as you think you did. What I tell people is, if you make a mistake with the Alien, you're paying MSRP for the mistake. All right, if you jerk the trigger or snatch it and you throw a shot in a certain direction, for whatever reason, the gun is not super forgiving in that way. Stupid accurate. I kind of liken it to like a Porsche GT2 RS or GT3 RS. Great track car, but not very forgiving. It doesn't tolerate stupidity very well. Same thing with this. If you're somebody that doesn't have good trigger control habits and you get into snatching a trigger, this gun's gonna bite you. Bottom line is, the bullet's gonna go where you don't want it to go, and you're gonna get full value. So you need to understand that. Super accurate gun, not super forgiving to shoot. Trigger's phenomenal, okay? The trigger is absolutely phenomenal, and honestly, I would argue the trigger's too good. There's very little take up, very little over travel, and it breaks superbly. It's a good example of a trigger that if you were to mix a 1911 trigger 50% with a bolt action sniper rifle trigger 50% and kind of mix the two together, that's what the Alien trigger is like. The problem is, when I go to another gun, like a Glock or whatnot, and that trigger characteristics is so much different than the Alien, that'll really throw you for a loop. All right, so trigger's fantastic, but if you get a lot of time behind it and you get used to firing it, it could come back to haunt you. But the trigger is literally out of this world. Little snappy, all right, a little bit snappy. That does vary some with ammo. It's directly attributable to the HK P7 style operating mechanism. So it's got a little snap to it. So it's not so much a push, but a jab. After a while, you kind of get used to it. Muzzle rise, like I said in the earlier video, is about half of what you would see with other guns. The biggest advantage, of course, is the fact that the sights don't move with the slide. And that is a huge advantage, and I tell you where you really see it. Number one, anytime you're using a red dot, monumental advantage. If you're aggressive behind the gun, the dot won't even leave the field of view. The other thing is if you're shooting on the move. If you're shooting on the move at targets and you're aggressive, The dot doesn't leave the field of view. You have 50% less muzzle whip and the slide cycles faster. So you have the ability to follow up and get shots much, much quicker than you would with any other handgun than the Alien. That's where, when you kind of start getting out on the fringes of using a handgun a little bit, that's where the Alien really shines. When you're starting to get into the 5 and 10% of usage stuff that's real critical, but you need that performance, that's where this gun really comes into the forefront. All right, now, essentially set up to use hardball only from the factory. Now, I had a good pistol smith buddy, friend of mine, went in and opened up the feed ramp in order to take a wider variety of ammo, because their theory is it's a competition gun. The guys in the Czech Republic, by the way, are great guys. They've been absolute perfect guys to work with. Great feedback. Their theory is hey, guys are going to be shooting competition over here. They're not going to really be shooting hollow point and whatnot, so we'll just set it up to run like hardball ammo. Like my good buddy said, it's like if you remember the old feed ramp configuration for the Browning High Power, which was really for hard ball only. If you put any kind of hollow points in it or whatever, it choked. That's kind of what this gun's like. You can open it up now to take hollow points and different things. You can open the feed ramp up, and that's what needs to be done, because in this day and age, you don't have the opportunity to pick and choose ammo. With the amount of ammo that's being sold and the prices involved, you may not be able to find that choice full metal jacketed ammo. You may have to go with something with a truncated nose or something a little bit different, and you want your gun to be able to shoot it no matter what it is. All right, now, magazine pouch. If you have a magazine pouch for a SIG P320, it will fit the magazine for the Alien, no problem at all. All right, so the holster now that comes with it is specifically for the gun. The problem is they have an adapter on it that's really for competition use only. I have swapped mine out for the Blade Tech adapter, and it works like a champ. The 3-hole pattern lock lines up, works like a champ. I've angled it a bit, and it's good to go. I'm not a big fan of the competition style belt attachment setup they have coming out of the box, so I put the Blade Tech attachment to it, and it's a good piece of kit. Overall, I'm a big fan of the gun. Before I let you go, I got one more thing I want to point out to you. Real low line of sight versus line of bore, as you know. Another thing is, this area here can kind of punch you in the thumb a little bit. It's a byproduct of the width of this beaver tail area and the fact that you also have a little bit of a jab now instead of a push. But once you shoot the gun a little bit, you get used to it. The Alien from Lago Arms, I like the pistol, great to shoot. It's like anything else, you got to learn the pros and cons and learn how to deal with it. For me, I can run the gun real well, and I definitely like shooting it. I've been shooting in training classes, and I plan on doing the same when I get back out on the range. Give the guys at Lago Arms my regards if you talk to them. Have a good one. Alien, Lago Arms, LAV out. Hey, Larry Vickers here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click here to subscribe to the Vickers Tactical channel and take time out to check out some of our other favorite videos.